everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name's Heather. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Fareham in the United Kingdom, otherwise known as the Songbird Stamper. And I normally go live on YouTube at 8 PM on a Thursday evening, but I can't make this one, so I thought I would hop on and share a video that I've created using the Growth Takes Time stamp set and the Countryside Corners. I actually wrote a blog post about this card as well, so if you want kind of more details, more pictures, head on over to my blog, the details in the description below, as well as a link to purchase any of the supplies that you might see me using today. So yeah, let's get going, shall we? I've used the new colour, Copper Clay, today. This is a gorgeous deep reddy brown, and I thought it worked perfectly with the Growth Takes Time stamp set for the tree. I put in my blog post, we used to have a American redwood tree near where I used to live, and it was lovely. I used to see it when I was on my kind of way to school, and I really have good memories of that tree. So I thought I know it's not that tree, but I thought I'd try and use that colour. It just reminded me. So I'm cutting a normal card base to 21 centimetres by 14.5, scoring in half at 10.5, and that's going to create our card base. Then I'm going to take a mat of basic white cardstock, 10 by 14, and I'm bringing in the gorgeous tree embossing folder. I can't remember, timber embossing folder, that's what it's called. That one there. So I'm going to pop it in the folder, but I'm not going to pop it in this way up because I don't want horizontal tree lines. I want vertical ones for this card. Just thought it looked a bit better. So pop it in, but still put the plate in with the hinge going forwards. And I just love this effect. This looks great sponged as well. That's not what we're going to do today, but I really like that. So that's going to go on our card base. And I bought in some of the brushed metallic foils. This is online exclusive at the moment, but really nice product. And I'm going to cut that to 10 centimetres by about 3.3 centimetres. I'm mixing and matching my imperial and metric today, so you just bear with me. Cut it to about that size. It's over an inch, because this one I'm going to cut to 10 centimetres by 1 inch. This is the new design series paper for the in colours, so it colour matches. We love Stampin' Up because everything colour matches. Look at that, gorgeous. And we're going to cut that to 10 centimetres across by 1 inch deep. So there's all our kind of mats and layers for the front of our cardstock, so we can put that together. And these are simply laying on flat. I'm not putting any of this on dimensionals yet. With the embossing folder, you often have to just give it a press down at the edges. Even though you've kind of glued it, it just sometimes wants to raise up a little bit. So just make sure you give that a good press, a little bit more than normal. And then some glue on the back of this one as well. Now I'm going to bring in the Countryside Corners stamp set, which I absolutely love. This has had way more use than I would have expected it to. It's one big giant stamp. I've shown recorded a little reel, so if you're over on Instagram or even actually on YouTube here, just head to my shorts videos and you'll see a little reel on kind of a few ways to use this. The way I'm going to choose to use it today is to colour in using my Stampin' Right marker. So the Stampin' Right markers are a water-based marker, which is why you can do this, and they work amazingly. And I'm just being careful not to touch any on that inside track. And all I'm going to do is colour this all the way around. If you don't have these, there are other options available to use this stamp. Just check out that reel. You can just stamp it all and then kind of cut out the one you want and then layer it. But this is ideal for me. So I'm going to do that. And then stamp that down. See, I've caught a couple on the inside, but that is okay. We are going to cover it up using what I've got here. So I'm just going to cut the inner one. So we've got the outer die for the outer one. We're going to cut the inner die for the inner one. And we'll run both those through the cut and emboss machine. So there's the little one. As you can see, when we layer that together, that's going to cover up those bits. It just means that the whole lock doesn't kind of shine through the cardstock, which it can do. And there we've got this one as well. So they're going to layer together. You could just stamp right in the middle of this one as well. I just think that gives it a bit of extra dimension, which I quite like. And then we're going to bring in the Growth Takes Time stamp set. I love the font and the sentiments on these, but I'm not using it on this card. I'm just using this tree here. And I'm going to stamp that in Memento. And it only just fits on this panel. So I'm just going to try and line this up. My camera is in my way though, but we'll do our best. There we go, pretty good. And then just while I'm on the edge of stamping, I've also got it's from the Sentimental Park stamp set. It's from this one. And I've got the You Are Amazing. And that's going to stamp in copper clay. So full strength copper clay just underneath there. Now to colour this in, I've gone for copper clay and wild wheat. This wouldn't actually normally be, wild wheat wouldn't normally be my choice of colour for leaves. Works quite well. But this was for a blog post showing the new in colours. So these are the new in colours for 2023 to 2025. And yeah, I was just drawn to kind of going, okay, what can we use them with? What would they be right for? Because they aren't kind of pretty. A lot of people are saying they're not kind of pretty colours. I love copper clay, boho blue, moody mauve. But pebble path and wild wheat, they're just useful colours. But in order to figure out that they're useful, we have to find out what they're useful for, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of nature carding at the moment. Now, I don't normally colour with the brush tip of my blends, like really rarely. But when they're good, they do fray ever so slightly sometimes if you're not careful. But when they're good, you can get a really fine tip. And we are going all the way up to those top branches where it's just really pointy. So I thought the brush tip was probably the better one to use for this. And so I've just done the dark where we've got some shading, and this is the light. I must say I use my brush tips more for flicking, which does damage them, but I really love the splatter technique. So that's a bit of a risk that I'm willing to take. Okay. And then for the leaves, I have used a bit of dark and light wild wheat. Just, can you see where some artists will do this one, where some shading lines have been put? I've actually just put a bit of dark on those. There's nothing massively scientific about this. Just getting some dark colour in there as well as some of the light for a bit of tonal variation, really. It's a big word on a Sunday morning when I'm recording this. It was the coronation here in the UK yesterday, and I may have overeaten slightly, but it was fun. We had family round, picnic lunch, watched the coronation on the TV, had a game in the afternoon. Yeah, it was lovely. Very British to celebrate the coronation of the royal family, or the king, coronation of the king. So you might want to fast forward through this, but this is just me trying to be careful colouring these leaves in. It's not the most exciting thing to watch on YouTube, I'm sure, but hopefully the finished result will be worth staying for. Normally about this point I would start to advertise my blends course, teaching people how to colour using Stampin' Blends, but I'm actually doing a watercolour course this year, which I'm really excited about. If you haven't seen the details, or you think, oh, that sounds interesting, head down to the description below, because again there's going to be a link to a web page, and that's my website with all the details on how you can still join in with my watercolour course. I'll be running the one kind of in the summer and then one later in the year as well. Okay, that's that. Yep, we're still filming. Just got to check every now and again. I've been known to, my camera's gone off and I haven't noticed. So look at that, really brings it together, I think. So you've got your image there you've coloured in, and then as soon as you layer it onto there, just with that border, I'm absolutely loving. It's called the Countryside Corners Bundle. It comes with some gorgeous blue papers in a suite as well, but you absolutely get so much more out of this stamp set. So that's just going to layer onto there like that flat, and then I am going to pop this up on dimensionals if I can find them quickly enough. There we go. So I just made a reel with this as well. I'm trying to kind of batch things at the moment, and it was you don't do all the processes normally for a reel, so I don't have didn't have my dimensionals out. Okay, that's a lot, but I don't want it to collapse in the mail, because I think there's a few people going to be getting these cards. Lots of amazing people on my team at the moment and in my life, so lots of things to celebrate. If you fancy joining my team, again, there's a link to that in the description below. Okay, pop all that on there. That's going to be up on dimensionals. Just try and get that as central as possible. And there's only one thing to finish this off. We're going to grab a little bit of this foil again. I've got this cracker and treat box dies. Bit of an odd one to bring in. I've just noticed I haven't stuck that on straight. You know, I'm not very good at straight when I'm on camera. And it's got these gorgeous little hearts in. So I'm just going to cut some hearts. And I'm just going to pop one single heart just on the left hand side here, because to me that really finished it off. I didn't want embellishments. I tried them, didn't work. This is a more masculine themed card, but I think it would work really well for sending to a female friend as well. But yeah, just a simple little heart on the side. You are amazing. And that's all, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I say, all the links to my shop, joining my team, or joining the watercolour course, whatever you want to do. There's loads going on. But yeah, all the links are in the description below if you like what you saw. Please don't hesitate to subscribe to to my channel, hit the bell icon and you'll be notified of all future videos too. Thanks ever so much, take care, bye for now.